What's going on, guys? So today what we're going to be doing is replacing the heater hose for a 2000 Honda Civic. And the process is fairly simple, actually. Here's the replacement part that goes on. So the heater hose is basically this one right here that's under the distributor, and it goes down all the way to here. So there's a clamp here, and there's one that we kind of can't, you can probably see it, but this is the end of it that goes into the engine bay. And there's a little hole here. It's actually slashed a little bit, and it was gushing coolant while I was driving, and it started overheating. So you don't need a lot of tools. By far the only thing that I am using is a 12 millimeter socket ratchet, and then I have some nose pliers, really long ones actually, that I'm going to use to get those clamps out. Alright, so here we go, let's get started. First thing I did is I marked the distributor here. I just used a Sharpie and I made a line just so you can basically when you put it back on, you put it back the same way. So let me set the camera down here and show you guys. So if you have an overheating problem, if it's not your radiator leaking, there's this that you can take a look at. So there's 3 bolts that we're going to remove from the distributor. There's one at the top, one at the bottom right here, and then there's one on the left hand side. I think this one here is the one that's kind of the hardest maybe to get to. It's a little hard to get the connector, but let me show you guys. So basically the first bolt was at the top here. Okay, the other bolt is on the left hand side, and then the other one right there on the right hand side bottom. All right, so I wasn't able to get this. It's really hard to get it out for some reason, so I wasn't able to get this out. But if you look down here, this is the heater hose, lower, right beneath the distributor. So this clamp, I'm gonna try to get this clamp out of the way, and you can see the slash right there. All right, guys, if you can see, I did get the clamp back. You may need something to, if it's really hard to do it with your hand, you may need something to ply it out. There it is. So this end is gone, is out. Now we're gonna get the other side out. The other side might be hard for you guys to see. But I'll give you guys a closer look once I get this clamp out of the way. All right, so the other side is basically, if you just follow the hose, obviously, it'll lead you to this. So I got the, let me get that focus, if I can get that focus. This is the clamp. I just pulled it back, and I'm gonna get this side out now. Alrighty. Alright, so just to compare the two, I don't have to move back for this. They're identical. I think one might even be a little bit longer, but they're pretty similar for the most part, at least. May require me to twist it a little bit just to get this end to turn. And I am going to be using the same clamps just because I don't have new clamps. This one's a little bit rusted, but it shouldn't be too bad. I can always replace it another time. So out with the old, I'm going to get these clamps out, put in the new one, put the clamps on the old one. Take the clamps from the old one, put it on the new one, and then we'll put this back. All right, I don't know, you guys may not be able to see, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this this new one in now. Hopefully you guys can kind of see where I'm working. I'll go ahead and put the clamps on all the way to the kind of tip. Alright guys, so the finished product, just make sure that the clamp, when you put the clamp on, it's pushed back. Not all, it doesn't have to be all the way, but just close to the tip. And then if we follow the heater hose to the other side, this is the other end. Okay. And of course, when we put the distributor back, we already have our mark here, and then on the distributor itself, it's right there, so we'll be able to put it back the exact same way that we took it out. Now I'm gonna work them by hand first, and then go ahead and tighten them down. So after we're done, we do have to make sure that we have our coolant is topped off in the radiator, which we'll do that. If we necessarily have to burp the car, we'll burp the car just to let out any air in the system. But let me go ahead right now and tighten this down. Alright, so final step, we're gonna go ahead and top off. Come on, focus. There we go. So final step, we're gonna go ahead and top off the coolant. I got here 50-50 ready to use, and I'm gonna try to aim. You know, it doesn't always work out, but it looks like it's working out. And my battery's about to die, guys, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep the radiator cap on. Off, start the engine. Just let it run until it reaches normal operating system temperature wise, and then now we can go ahead and close the cap. Should be ready to go. It's taking a lot of coolant. Any day now. Sorry guys, so phone decided to die even with the power bank. Don't like it. But what I did here is I topped off the coolant, turned on the car. I'm just gonna make sure there's no air in the system and the radiator in the cooling system. So what I did is I turned on the car, put it on heat, max heat, and then put the fan all the way up. And all you have to do is wait for the car to reach normal operating temperature. You can continue to top off the radiator and look for bubbles. Those bubbles will be the air exiting the cooling system. Once the fan kicks in once or twice, you should be all set. I hope that this video was very helpful, and I'll see you guys on the next one.